Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to NASholes, the podcast where two assholes who like to think they know a thing or two about NASCAR talk about NASCAR. I'm Benny B, joined alongside my very good friend Drew, the NASCAR fan.
There you go.
You guys can follow us on X at NASholes Pod, on Instagram at NASholes_podcast. Find us on Spotify. Type in NASholes. Give us that 5-star rating. Make sure you're following along. Put the notification bell so anytime we release an episode, you know that it's out. Also, don't forget about the YouTube page. Please subscribe. Type in NASholes Podcast, NASholes, a NASCAR podcast on YouTube. You'll find us there. Yeah, please go subscribe. Give us some likes. Drew, we had an eventful Martinsville weekend.
Yeah, that's one way to say it. Yeah.
Xfinity has caused some controversy among the NASCAR talks.
Get out of here. The Xfinity race at Martinsville?
Mm-hmm.
That's unheard of.
So
that series at that track never makes any noteworthy decisions.
So that race was wild, Drew. You know, you had Sammy Smith and Taylor Gray battling it up there up front, and for the most part, towards the end, it was very, very good. And you know, they get to the final lap, and you know, Gray pulls ahead, and Sammy Smith decides that he's just going to bump into the back of Gray, which in turn causes him to kind of lose all of his momentum. Grace kind of spins out, and it just causes a whole entire shit show from there because, you know, Allgaier came up alongside of Sammy Smith and pushed him, you know, trying to get on the inside, trying to, you know, get the win. And ultimately that slowed everybody up. And Austin Hill, who I believe at that time was running 5th or 6th, was able to run to the inside and win that race. And it was a total freaking shit show.
Yeah. You know, I was listening to Door Rumper Clear earlier before we started, and I think Tommy Baldwin said it best. But when Sammy Smith and Corey, what was the guy's name again? Gray? Or is it Day?
Yeah,
I get
Gray.
those two confused. Okay, so when Smith and Gray kind of like, they had like this weird heated standoff or whatever.
Yeah.
Tommy Baldwin said it best. He's like, those were two dudes that wanted to fight each other but didn't want to fight each other.
Dude, that's so true, because
like,
it looked like they were like getting close, and then they're like, you know, there was people obviously going to stand in the way and stop it anyway. But
the best part about all of it was those security guards, outside of having their arms up, were doing nothing. They
really, they were not like, you know, going like this or anything. Like they were
it's not like they were holding them back. Dude, that big buff black guy that's just always there. That I think they said he's like head of security or something like that. Always shows up, and he wasn't even like.
It just looked like they were just. It looked like there was a whole lot of yelling just going on from officials and stuff.
That black man's face was all like, "Man, these white boys fucking."
What they mad about?
It's a fucking bunch of bitches.
Yeah, but
back in my day, you see here.
Yeah, I found it interesting though. Like they interviewed Sammy Smith afterwards, and he just said, you know, the guy has no respect for me, so you know I had to give it. He's like, I'm not. It's funny. He just kept saying, I'm not proud of it, but you know I had to do it. It's like I don't understand that. Like if you're not proud of it, I mean, and you knew you weren't going to be proud of it, then why'd you do it anyways? But like,
didn't he also say something like he couldn't rest easy at night knowing he settled for second place?
I think he did.
Like
yes.
that?
Yeah, he said something like that. But like he basically said like, you know, he wasn't going to put up with it any longer, the disrespect. And you know, I don't blame him, but you know, when it comes to that, like you lost yourself the race. I mean, you could have at least got second at the very least. And just because of your anger, you know, you caused a lot of problems for other people too. And so just really stupid, man.
Well, DVC also pointed it out as well. He made himself ineligible for the Dash of Cash next weekend as well. Because he didn't finish where he needed to. So that's $100,000 right there, and then his team's got to pay probably $100,000 for each car that he wrecked.
Yeah, just stupidity, man. Stupidity, man. And you know, I like what Denny Hamlin said. You know, he's like, I wish I was on the broadcast team. I would be ripping into him. And you know, he kind of mentioned something that, you know, I was listening to the Teardown, and they said this, like Denny said they need to start like, you know, penalizing stuff like this, like for like basically, I don't know what they termed it. It was like purposeful, like bumping or whatever, like trying to wreck people. But like, see, the problem when you get into doing that, it's like, well, when do you call it? And like, then you're just gonna be calling the penalties like that all the time, man. Because like that kind of stuff that could seem like they're doing it on purpose is totally not.
Well, I think Brad Keselowski, I saw it tweet earlier. It was in response to I think it was Jeff Gluck's Xfinity race. Was it
His
his?
the
I don't
poll.
know. Yeah, I don't know if it was his poll, but it was pretty much he had a link uh, that said Saturday's Xfinity race was universally panned, but what to do about it isn't as obvious. And Brad Keselowski went ahead and said, "Been really quiet on this over the last few days, but it's clear this is important to fix, and also clear that it's bigger than one race weekend." His 2 cents: the solution needs to come from the car owners, not NASCAR. Till the car owners are willing to park their drivers for getting this out of control, very little will change. I get that they're all scared to park a funded driver out of the fear that they will lose the money to continue operations. However, at some point, that's the risk you have to take to get this right. I believe if all the teams do it together, it would work. What's your
I
thoughts
mean,
on that?
I think he's spot on, Drew. I mean, like it does start with the owners. They can't keep letting this happen. I mean, and like this is not just it's not just this race at Martinsville. Like this kind of stuff is happening every single week in Xfinity, and it's unprofessional and it's uncalled for. I mean, like
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it makes for exciting TV, but
right.
there's it makes for exciting moments, but like in the big picture and all that,
You screw a lot of people, man. It's not about you.
yeah. Well, I don't know. Racing is a technically selfish sport,
It is. I get it.
but there's also like common courtesy. Like maybe don't stack up the field. You did the last turn at Martinsville. Stuff like
Yeah,
that.
just an idea.
Just a thought. Maybe settle for second, take the silver,
Hmm.
still podium. Decent payday. But
Exactly.
and the thing too is like it's guaranteed to work because after both Bubba Wallace and Chase Elliott intentionally wrecked another driver, I think it was like 22 and 23 when this happened. Rick Hendrick and Denny Hamlin both yanked their drivers out of those cars for a race weekend.
Yeah.
And just said it was unacceptable. Bubba Wallace pissed off Denny Hamlin so much where he actually took his name off the car and put Nemarek's name on there when he was filling in,
Uh,
which was a extra fuck you. That was like stitching him up and then ripping the stitches wide open, starting over again. Like that's the ultimate like you fucked up.
yep. Yep.
But no, yeah. If you do shit like that, I'll tell you what, Elliott and Wallace haven't intentionally dumped somebody, or at least was so blanked about it.
It works, man. I mean, because you think about you're doing that. I mean, yeah, like you're hurting your own team as an owner, but at the same time, like that driver is getting hurt just as much. He's not going to be
Yeah.
able to compete. He's not making money, and I mean that's what it's all about. You got to race to make money. So
And well, and another thing too to worry about is, I mean, you got a team that's, you know, kind of all, relying on you to not do dumb shit like that and get good finishes. Help keep the lights on and shit like that. So, I know in the moment it's very difficult to see the big picture, but you kind of just got to know hey, maybe dumping this dude isn't worth it. Just take the second place, move on.
yeah, seriously. And another thing I think about too is like, Xfinity is like basically your foot in the door to be a Cup Series driver. Like this is where you show like these other teams potentially in the future like who they could sign on. And like the driving should not be like this. Like when you see an Xfinity race and then the next day you go see Cup, like how big of a difference is, and obviously there's going to be that big of a difference, but like just like the maturity level that you see with stuff like this, like it doesn't really happen in Cup. Like if it does, it's here and there, but it doesn't really happen again. It's not like repeat offenders.
Well, and the thing too is, uh, there's not a whole lot of drivers in Cup that are up there purely because they have good backing. I mean, there's a handful of them, but it's not like an Xfinity or Truck where You get a lot of these, silver spoon babies coming in
Right.
who have guaranteed sponsor support unless they did something atrocious like committed murder or something like that.
Yeah.
Who they don't have to worry about pissing them off and having them walk off on them. They'll do dumb shit,
Hmm.
and that's kind of just what it comes down to. Like, like in Xfinity, you got more people like that, but in Cup, I mean, that's big time money being spent on a Cup car, by the team, and a lot of money spent by the sponsors to help fund everything. And you just doing that dumb shit like that's a bad look for everybody overall.
Yeah, exactly, Drew. But in other news, Drew, the Cup race, Denny Hamlin just about stunk it up, really.
Dude, Denny Hamtits went there and just farted like from lap 1 all the way to lap 500 or whatever they had.
Yep,
No,
and
lap 500.
and let me tell you, he brought the personality too. He brought out the 11 against the world flag.
I think
11 against everybody.
I forgot who said it. It was either Clint Boyer or Kevin Harvick, but we pulled out that flag. Somebody was just like, "Come on, Denny, you weren't getting that booed."
Yeah. But it was funny. They asked him after the race. They're like, what, like, why did you do this? And he's just like, why not? He's like, the question is, why not? He's like, it's just me. Like, and I love that because people, I guess from what I understand, people had been saying like Denny needs more of a personality, and now that he
Really?
like, yeah, that's kind of what I was seeing is like somebody said something like, fans, oh, Denny needs to have more of a personality, and then like he does that thing with the flag, and they're like, oh, but no, not that. It's like okay,
I never thought he was a driver that needed to show more personality. I thought he showed more than enough. I mean, you're gonna have a pretty open personality if you're gonna willingly tell the fans at Bristol after you win, oh, they're just mad because I beat their favorite driver, you know, like that.
yeah. No, but Drew, his car all day, man. Wow, it was just like I'm like this
I
guy is never not gonna be in the front. Like I'm like I knew he was gonna win.
there was a section of I think stage 2, maybe early stage 3, where Elliott was really running him down, and he got within like 0.200 or whatever,
I think so.
and then
Him and Bell.
just something happened. I don't remember what. I think maybe he just drove the car a little too hard, or threw stuff a little too quick, or he was just trying to conserve, and Bell had the better car. Anyways, Hamlin just kept driving up front. He just kept driving away. And then
Yep.
once he hit lap traffic, it was game over for everybody else.
Exactly. And I think we had about 87 left to go and they had a restart. And man, I couldn't tell, man. Like Bell and Hamlin kind of fought at it for a few laps. And I kind of thought that Bell would pass him, man. But Denny he just had the total like perfect car. And like the way he saved his tires was just genius, man. Like because at the end of the race, you saw his burnout. He made it all the way around the track, burning it out, and still didn't even freaking tear the
It was
tires.
it was a pretty sick burnout.
Oh, it was amazing, man.
I don't know what it is, but I don't know. I think this year people haven't been too overly critical of Denny Hamlin. Maybe they haven't. I just haven't noticed it. But I mean, like
I have to
when
agree
you
with
watch
you.
him
I
get out
haven't
of,
seen it either.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still there, but not as much as it was like the last 2 years or so.
Well, yeah, because I
But
remember last year was like every race he was in the mix.
and I don't know what it is, but I said it earlier. I don't know if we were recording or not, but like when he had like Mavis and like whatever that other sponsor was that looked fake as shit on him, like
Yeah, like it doesn't
I
even
don't
looks
know
made
why
up.
it was just like a slap in the face almost. Like fuck off. But he got that progressive sponsorship for like more than half the races this season. It was a sick whip.
Hey, Flo knows.
Dude, I bet you Flo knows the fucking combination to get into his house. He's getting dead of them at night, dude. Yo, dude, how funny would it be if Flo showed up pregnant to a race one day?
Denny, I have your baby.
Oh my god, he birthed his only son, and it's half of Flo.
God.
Oh, she's so old now too. I saw like a really old Flo, like mid 2000s when they first started. She was like young, thin, and hot, and I was like, "Whoa, Flo!"
Yeah, dude, that's so crazy. Now she's like,
And now it's
that's
like
actually
20
kind of
years
crazy.
later. and now she's just this chubby middle-aged woman.
It's crazy they kept the same lady, you know.
Yeah, usually when they're unfuckable, they just get rid of them. You know? But no,
Down
they
to
were
the
like,
principal with you.
like wine, they said. I thought more like milk, but hey, me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
anyways, back to NASCAR.
But yeah, Drew, back to kind of, Hamlin wins. And let me just go through this because I don't want to forget. I did a very good job last week, not forgetting. So let's just keep this streak going. So we had Hamlin finishing in first, Bell in second, Bubba Wallace in third, Chase Elliott in fourth, Kyle Larson in fifth, Ross Chastain in sixth, Ryan Preece in seventh, Joey Logano in eighth, Chase Briscoe in ninth, Todd Gilliland in 10th. Drew, anybody stand out to you there? I know Joey Logano, actually, surprisingly, this was his first top 10 finish.
Yeah, Logano. I really didn't think he was gonna have it in him to pull off that top 10. Didn't he start off really amazing, and then kind of just get messed up on pit road, or was that maybe the week prior? Or am I thinking of Vegas?
I think you're thinking of Vegas, yes, because that's when Barry and Logano kind of had the little mishaps there. But I think Logano spun out in this race too for some reason. I don't know why I'm thinking. I don't know. No, that can't be right. But where did he start? So he started in 13th, finished 8th. That's pretty good. But no, I'm wrong. That's laps led. Where did he start? Oh, that's not saying. Oh wait, that is his starting position. So he started in 7th. So he was already up there, and he was able to only finish one worse than where he started. Preece, man, that was your pick, Drew, from last week. Is Preece, and it got lucky and got the winner again. I got Denny Hamlin. So I now gained some more points, a little bit more of a lead on you. But luckily you picked Preece, so you still got some points. So you didn't get too far behind me. So I'm up 125 to 113, ladies and gentlemen.
Off air, I pointed this out to Ben, but I sent him a message Sunday while I was watching the race, and Preece, I don't know why I didn't realize that
it was halfway through the race too. You sent me this.
Yeah, and I think they just cycled pits and whatnot, and he was back in 30th, and I was like, oh fuck! Don't tell me I picked him. I was like, because I was like, I think I picked him. I didn't remember off the top of my head, but I was like, no, please for the love of fuck, let it.
And then I told you, I was like, no, you did, and he's doing good. And you're like, wait, what? Oh, they must have just pitted.
Dude, yeah, I didn't even I was so checked out of even looking for, and it was doing awesome, kind of bunged up, and with really blows. So I'd given up for him though, and it was maybe. Well, when I saw your message, and I was like, what? And then I looked at the positions, and I was like, motherfucker, go! Pass Hamlin!
Yeah.
Don't let Ben be right 2 weeks in a row.
Hey, I can't believe it, and I'm happy to announce that I picked him for the pool, the NASCAR pool. Clap it up, clap it up. So did 2 or 3 other people, so that doesn't really help.
Well, drive to their house and club them in the knees. That'll learn them. I
think, Drew, you could say Ryan Blaney had a much better week than the previous weeks. Finishes 11th, so not quite top 10, but
I was kind of shocked about that because Martinsville is a pretty good track for him.
He started 32nd too, Drew. So I mean, that's very impressive.
Well, and I do believe he was running top 10 at points as well, if I'm recalling correctly. So yeah.
No, I do remember him. No, he didn't lead any laps, but I remember him being up in the top 5 at some point. Maybe even it was just 6th or 7th. But I know it's Martinsville, and it's kind of one of those tracks where it can be kind of a shit show at times. But
Xfinity has proven that.
Yeah, but I think this is a huge confidence booster for Ryan Blaney and the team because it had just not gone well at all for them.
Yeah, what was it? 2 batteries dying 2 weeks in a row or something like that?
No, the engine blew.
No, wait, who the fuck had to pull off the race because they were out of batteries last week?
No, dude, this was literally happening.
No, that was Penske. That was just Penske as a whole right now.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I was gonna mention this. I'm glad because I almost forgot. But yeah, it was Barry and Logano actually who had battery issues, and so I had never seen this before. I mean, I'm sure maybe you have, But
I've probably seen it.
but
Nothing like
they
this
had
though.
they had this little block basically, and it wasn't really a battery, but they said it was like a battery connector. So like they put a new connector in or something like that. Because I guess the battery's not actually bad. It's just like the connection of it is bad. So they both
Hmm.
had the same problem. Man, Penske is just really having these similar problems with all of their cars. Besides,
Yeah.
I don't Logano's and Cindric aren't really having the engine blowing up. That was just Ryan Blaney, but just really weird. I had never seen that before.
Yeah, it's a very peculiar thing. Yeah, I can't remember a time when there have that many batteries issues like on the team during one weekend. It's nuts. That's just nuts.
And in this uh, race, Drew, I really thought what shocked me was William Byron and Alex Bowman. This is a track I thought that they would end up doing pretty good at, considering where they started. Byron started 10th, finished
Yeah.
22nd, and Bowman finished 27th after starting third. And I know a lot of people were thinking, kind of were in the talks of him being one of the more favorite guys to win
Remind me, I have to adjust myself.
it.
The chair moves.
Hey.
How's it going? How's it doing that? Anyway, sorry, you were saying.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, Bowman. Like I thought he for sure, just based on starting third, with this track how it is, I thought he'd at least finish top 10, at least finish 10th to 12th, but to finish 27th, man, I don't exactly recall what happened, but yeah, it's just kind of weird, man.
Yeah, but well, I can't have a good weekend every weekend.
No, you really can't. You really can't. Well, with Denny Hamlin's win, he had already been in the playoffs, but he moves up 2 spots, so he's in the 6th spot now.
Okay.
If the playoffs were to start today, Drew, this is what it would look like. We would have William Byron in first, and he is the points leader, leading Kyle Larson by 16 points.
Damn.
And then so Larson in second. Chase Elliott moved up 3 spots. He is in the 3rd spot now. Christopher Bell only moves up 1 spot, and he's in the 4th. In the 5th spot, Alex Bowman, actually, after this race, that moved him down 2 spots, so not ideal for that. And then Hamlin, like I told you, was in 6th. But Tyler Reddick is moving down, I guess, slowly. He's down 3 spots in 7th. Bubba Wallace in 8th, and that's a guy I wanted to talk about, Drew. Bubba Wallace, I
Dude,
think
awesome
he is.
awesome race yesterday.
Yes, he is getting. I've seen it over the past few weeks. He has raced so much better than years past, and
I
just
think
even from the last year and the year before.
I think it's a combination of him getting a new crew chief and him also becoming a father. Because like you can probably attest to this, but like allegedly when you have a kid, your mindset just changes. You could probably
Oh,
attest
that's
to that.
definite. That's definite.
What? No, dude, my mind never changed.
My
All I
mind
think about
isn't
is
going anywhere.
sex, NASCAR, and baseball. What's this baby bitching about? Get it to shut up.
I'm trying to watch NASCAR.
Dude, come on, shut up. I can't hear Mike Joy.
Shut up. There's 20 laps to go, and I'm trying to hear Mike Joy babble on about some
I
bullshit.
tried shaking him, but the fucker just got louder.
Oh, God, kill me. But yeah, Bubba Wallace, man, he finished
Yeah,
third.
yeah. It was top 5, wasn't it?
I thought.
Yeah, finished third. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, this is honestly like this is the best season he's ever had in his career, hands down.
I think a win is coming for him, to be honest with you.
God, yeah. If they keep up this momentum and like they just keep firing off like they have, a win will come. I mean, I was saying the same thing about the Wood brothers earlier this season, and right when I said it, they won that weekend. So, congrats to Bubba Wallace for winning Darlington.
Shoot.
Got
Boy. Yeah. So that's a guy that he's on the up and up. And then finishing out, if the playoffs ended today, or started today, sorry, we would have then in 9th, who's up 2 spots after finally getting a top 10, Joey Logano. In 10th would be Ryan Blaney. 7th spot, Chris Buescher. Chase Briscoe in the 12, Ross Chastain with the 13th, Ryan Preece with the 14th, Michael McDowell with the 15th, and the final spot would be taken by none other than Kyle Busch. I really hope Kyle Busch can make it in the playoffs. I think when he gets in the playoffs, I feel like, and he has had a better car this year than last year. I mean, he's still, it's not quite there, but I feel like if he comes to the playoffs, he'll be a different animal.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll see. It's also a contract year for him, so
Yeah. It's
I wouldn't be shocked if he kind of has a very blah season.
I don't know, man, because to me, I think
Well, if he leaves, I should say, like if he announces he's going to leave RCR, then I would expect.
right. Why would he give it his all? Because then they'd be like, then they would throw the kitchen sink at him. You know.
Well, I was going to say it's not that he wouldn't give it his all. He'd also be withheld from knowledge and stuff like that. Like it's exactly what happened to Legacy Motor Club when they announced they're going to go to Toyota at the beginning of the next season. So when they did that, Chevy just cut them off. They're like, "Yeah, no, you're not. You're going to be the enemy next season, so we can't give you anything."
But I think, Drew, it's like in football, it's like it seems like always like when the guys are on a contract year, like when they're due for another contract, is like when they play their best, and then they'll finally get the contract and then like start sucking. So I could see it being one of those situations where it's his contract year, so he's like, I'm gonna freaking do my shit. But racing's not really like football, so.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you need to have the mindset of you're going to go out there and get it done.
You
and if
have
you
to,
don't
man,
have that,
or you're not going to be in NASCAR for very long.
Yeah, or if you are, you'll never get the respect of your peers. Anyways, no, I think though it is just a combination though above all it's just like new crew chief. He's got like a kid now, so he's got like a different mindset. He's probably, he hasn't really been all too emotional. Emotional being like showing his frustrations with like
yeah,
people.
That's true. He's kind of had more of a calm, kind of.
He did at Bowman Gray when somebody flipped him off and he was driving by. Didn't he say? What the hell did he say? He had an amazing burn for that guy. Yeah, it's gonna bother me.
Dude, I don't even remember. It feels like it was so long ago already.
I think he said probably he was calling him number one. Or I don't know. I thought it was like,
oh yeah, I think it was something like that.
It's better.
He's like, oh, thank you for calling me number one.
It's better than the Bubba Wallace of 2020, who was.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I didn't even watch NASCAR then, and I heard up.
That's
that was on ESPN, bro.
Well, I mean, it was a black man in distress, and it was in 2020. So of course, they're like an African American in distress.
How can we make a story about this?
A noose in the garage stall at Talladega. Interesting. Alabama, notoriously racist.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I've seen like, I don't know. We don't got to go down that fucking rabbit hole. I don't know if it's legit or not because when it happened, the times are so fucky. You just can.
Yeah.
Regardless, Bubba Wallace is nothing like that anymore. And like, he's like a well-mannered, chill dude. He tapped into his white side a bit more. He finally started acknowledging the Caucasian.
Hell yeah.
He put his urban instincts to bed. Picked up his suburban instincts. Anyways. And you notice how he stopped playing street dice before the race on pit road?
What's gotten into him? He's changed.
Him and all the black pit crew members, all the various teams.
And they're like, oh,
played.
Hell no. And then freaking little ass Tyler Reddick comes up. What's going on, guys?
What's going on? He goes in there and steamrolls.
Yeah, here, short ass.
Little white ass on out here right now, motherfucker. We about to break your ass 3 ways to Wednesday, man. Get the fuck out of here. It's Hood Rat games. Now Bubba Wallace when has to play Hood Rat games. Now when has to play Hood Rat games, he goes, no thank you. I would rather read. And then he goes back to his trailer and reads.
No thank you, gentlemen. I will be reading Malcolm Gladwell. I
will be reading my Bible. Thank you.
I will be reading Malcolm Gladwell's Outliers.
I will be reading 1984.
Drew, what did you think about the tire wear on Sunday? This was kind of a big thing coming into it that we didn't know how it would be. But what did you think about it? I thought it was fine.
Yeah, I mean, it was all right. Nothing. It wasn't anything to like lose your head over. I said it last episode. I'll say it again, but I really think we need to have the option tire, you know, as a second valid option in every short track, intermediate, and road course.
Yep. I remember talking about that. I do agree with you, man.
And
I mean, it's like, Hamlin was able to save his tires. I don't know how he saved them like that, but
and
I
the
almost
thing,
think they need to be softer, man.
and
At a track
the
like this.
thing too is like Goodyear has to like they want to make they want to make the races more entertaining. But the problem is if they have tires that wear out really quick, it's going to make their product look bad because they're in the tire business. You know,
Yeah, we've talked about this
the
before. I mean, it's
and
just
the problem is if you're dumb enough to watch a NASCAR race and see all these Goodyear tires blowing up and go, well, I'll never buy Goodyear tires again. That's the same as like seeing Logano or not Logano's like Blaney's Mustang last week blowing up or whenever that was, and just going, I'll never buy a Ford again if they all do that. It's like, bro, it's not your street legal shit,
right. It's running
you
like
know?
crazy speeds, and like
Yeah, like the
regular
tire
cars can't handle this.
is like, look, I'm not even that much of an auto nut or whatever, but even I know that like there's racing tires, street tires. I mean, there's tires for everything, and if you can't fucking realize that stock cars don't run on street tires,
You're
I don't know what to tell you,
lost.
man.
Yeah, you're lost.
I think Goodyear just needs to get
They
like
need to just
understand
keep
that point.
researching this, man. They just need to
Yeah,
keep doing tests.
and like I understand having two sets of tires will effectively double the cost of production on stuff, but it's
Yep.
also not like NASCAR's picking up popularity. So it's not like we couldn't probably afford to pay more.
Right.
We
Exactly.
thought, I guess.
Ratings are going up, man.
Our ratings are going up, fan interest is going up, sponsor interest is going up, my heart rate's going up. Thinking about NASCAR, everything's gone the up except my waistline.
And hey, my will to live.
No, that's never up. Bottom of the barrel.
Never up.
I'm a flat Lego piece a diameter away from this.
God. Drew, a couple stats for you, man. I forgot to mention, or not really stats, just facts, really. So Austin Hill, like I said, he ends up winning that race because of in Xfinity because of that whole hoopla thing with Sammy Smith and that gray dude. But with his win, Austin Hill, he gets RCR their 100th win in the Xfinity series.
Oh my God! How the fuck did we? Oh, that's right.
I know.
Sammy Smith stole that from RCR. No one's gonna remember that was part of that weekend.
Nah.
Including me.
Yeah.
No, I mean, look, I'll tell you what. Austin Hill this year hasn't pissed me off as much.
I can kind of respect him, man.
I'm slowly starting to like him again. I'm not gonna lie,
I'm starting to believe again.
Well, no, I mean, I liked him early on, but then, he just kind of let his emotions get the better of him a couple of times, and then he'd get out of the car and just bitch and moan like a fucking toddler. And it's like, the one degree, it's like, okay, I understand, your job is not easy by any means, but, like, getting knocked out of the race for the final four by your own teammate, and then going to the teammate's pit box, clapping obnoxiously, and just being like, good job, everybody. As funny as that is, it's not a good look.
No.
But no, I've been pretty impressed with him. I liked his post race interview. He was just very calm and level headed. Mostly, he was probably
Well, I
still
know because it was
process how he won.
Because it was funny because he was in the car and I couldn't tell if it was him or the crew chief saying this. It seems like they kind of tuned into the in-car radio kind of late or whatever, right after somebody had said something, so I couldn't tell who. But anyway, it was like, I know, dude, I hate this track too, but good work, boys.
Somebody said they hated the track and they won it.
Yeah.
Which I mean, as I can only imagine, as a stock car driver, that's gotta be one of the best feelings, winning on a track that you have zero confidence at.
Now, also, Hamlin with his win, as you know, because there's nobody that didn't say it, it had been 10 years since he had won at Martinsville.
Didn't we talk about this last episode? Didn't you say that was like the streak was coming to an end? I swear this happened.
Well, I picked him, so I probably did say that, but
Did you? Well, because
I
I know
did go.
we looked up stats at the end of the last episode.
Well, we were trying to pick drivers, and I was like looking at
Yeah,
Hamlin. I'm like, well, he hasn't won there in 10 years,
maybe that was it. Yeah,
but
but he finished really good for the most
yeah,
part.
exactly. But he
That game.
actually gets his 55th win in the Cup Series and becomes 11 all time, tying Rusty Wallace for all time Cup Series wins. I mean, man, to be in the talks with a guy like Rusty Wallace, man, that's pretty cool, dude.
And I tell you what, he's only going to continue climbing that wins list. You know, I mean, Allgaier proved it last year as well. It's never too late to win a championship. You don't got to be like fresh off the boat or whatever. So he, you
Yep.
know, I mean, every year we jokingly say he's going to do it, but I mean, this could actually be the year. You know, miracles do happen, or
Yeah,
some
I don't
people's
know.
nightmares.
Progressive,
You know?
dude, it's got him covered.
Dude, you know what? Maybe that was it. Maybe that was the FedEx. FedEx was very meh.
They were
But with
not delivering.
Progressive, well, with Progressive, he knew if he crashed, he was covered.
Yes.
Do you think he has that safe driver snapshot thing in his car?
Probably.
Dude,
Hell yeah, dude.
you know what? They better have Denny Hamlin in a few. I don't even care if they're cheesy Progressive commercials. We need
That would
that.
be awesome, dude.
You know, like maybe one where like he's at Flo's house and it starts off with him walking out of her front door, pulling his pants up and like tightening the belt and just whistling, and then he just gets in his stock car and drives away. And then you hear like him take a phone call, and it's like, "Oh, hi, honey. No, I was just at the golf course with the guys. Progressive. We don't know why we aired this, anyways."
So yeah, dude.
And then there's Flo tied up in her BDSM rig.
God,
Hamlin
I do
dripping
not.
out of her.
You just made me picture something that I don't want to picture.
No, don't lie. You're gonna picture that a lot.
No, go on.
It's young Flo. It's young Flo. They have the technology to make it hot again.
It's okay then.
Oh, dude, not weird bloated raisin Flo.
Well, Drew, there was no grass,
Anyways,
so we can't comment on that, and that's fine.
Well, there was grass on a car that you didn't notice until I pointed it out earlier.
Yeah, the number 20, which should probably bring us to our next segment.
I just want to point out to our listener.
Listen.
All one of you. When I initially saw that paint scheme, I didn't I just thought it was like a regular DeWalt scheme. But when I was like watching the race on Sunday, and I saw the 20 car, I was like, "Huh, it's got an awful lot of grass on it."
Yeah.
Only
Hey, wait a minute. There's no grass at Martinsville.
Yeah, I was looking at it and I was like, "Man, when did he slide through the grass?" I was like, "Oh wait, there's no grass." Like, oh, Ben's gonna be pissed every single lap. Like, wow, yeah,
Well,
where are you? I'm so sorry.
where? I'm trying to. Okay, here we go, Drew.
Mm-hmm.
So you
There
mentioned
you go.
that one. Let me go to that one real quick, just so that people can see what we're talking about. Did I go too far? Nope. The 20 car, man, right here. And I didn't notice it either, man, until you pointed it like you said, and I was like, that is a really cool touch. And I think it's Davey. I think it's this Davey sponsor, to be honest. I can't think of who else it would be, man. Unless DeWalt's making like mowers or something. Like they're trying to, promote their new line.
Oh, maybe. Or it might just be like a sister company to DeWalt.
Yeah. But my favorite, Drew, was undoubtedly the number 4 car right here, A&W. It really caught my eye when I was watching the race. I'm like, wait, is that an A&W car? And I was like, dude, that thing is sick. So I'm gonna go with this one as my favorite paint scheme, man.
I didn't see this till maybe Sunday night, but they all the drivers from far end or front row, I guess, were all just like pounding down with beer floats before the race.
Really?
Yeah, and at first I was like, nah, okay, whatever, just random bullshit. But then I was like, dude, wait, hey, you shouldn't eat that before you go into a hot car.
Hell no, dude. Especially with the way the weather was looking, it was looking like it was pretty warm there. Yikes, man. Drew, what's your pick? I think you said, I forget what you said.
It's going to be that 17 Old El Paso Taco Show.
Oh, yes.
It's delicious.
Look at this thing, brothers.
I think that's I think that's what Dora taught me to say. No, it got like little attention, but all of it is amazing. I do
Looked
wish
nice
that
on
the
TV.
hood. I do wish the hood was the same color as the car. It looks like in this photo, but the hood was like white and the rest of
Oh,
the car,
was it
which is
really? Because
usual
this
with
photo
Kroger
looks like
schemes.
it's the same, but I feel like they should have like a. They
Yeah,
could
if
have
you
had a
look at
red. They could have had a red hood and then the white Kroger, and that would have been money.
but I think, well, I mean, the Kroger logo is just like blue, it's the blue logo and then the white background. So like, I kind of understand why they do it, but sometimes it just does. I don't know, it doesn't work all the time. Sometimes
Yeah,
it does. But yeah,
yeah.
no, old El Paso Taco Shell, slaps and claps. Honorable mention to the number 2 car from Fender with the Jack Link's Sasquatch on the hood. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I like this one. This is one of
It
my
almost
more
looks
favorite Menards schemes.
it almost looks like he like hit him.
Huh, and he's just like,
He's just like stuck on the front. Yeah.
oh, didn't mean to do that.
But shout out to Arby's though. They
Oh,
got
yeah,
all
for
that
sure.
screen time when they were getting laughed.
This is my honorable mention. It's the new progressive car that Hamlin has, and it just looks so clean, man. I don't know what about it. Like, there's nothing really special about it, but it works.
And the nice thing too, he doesn't have bullshit sponsors with it. He's got Sports Clips, he's got Coke, he's got King's Hawaiian.
Right, and I think
doesn't
the
have
Sports Clips is
Mavis.
a nice addition to this car. Like on the side where they put it, it looks good.
Oh yeah, everything about this hits. Everything about it hits.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. But Drew, now we get to the part of the show. Unless you have anything else to say about Martinsville. Alrighty, well, now, ladies and gentlemen, we get to our part of the show where Drew and I go over the standings that we have between for picking drivers. So last week, let me fix my headset here.
Benny, dude, that sexy hair flip.
Thanks, brother.
Bro, dude, you better tell Alexandria to put you under lock and key. I'm coming.
Roll to me, baby.
Oh, dude, I'll roll you. Don't you worry. I'll do it.
But we mentioned earlier, Drew, that I picked Hamlin and he won, and you picked Brees, finished 7th. So last time we had calculated it out that you were now down by 6. And now after my beautiful pick of Denny Hamlin winning, I am now I'm up 12, so I'm up by 6 more. 125 to 113 for your boy over here in the standings. And since I picked, for last week, and I picked the winner, because you guys know how it works here, like whoever picks the best gets to pick for the next week. So, man, we got throwback weekend. It's going to be unbelievable. It's Darlington, Lady in Black. We just don't know. I'm probably going to be there.
Better be there.
I'm pretty sure I am going to be. Drew will be very disappointed. I mean, probably not talk to me for the rest of the day.
I'll be miffed at you all day. Block you till Monday.
I call you and then you just text me back. Nope, not answering. You know why? So leave me alone.
Straight to voicemail. Voicemail starts. Fuck you, Ben. I reached the roof star, Ben.
Like, this man changed his whole voicemail just for me to tell me fuck off.
Damn, he's really pissed. He's really pissed.
But Drew, this race last year, I'm gonna try to look into this. Brad Keselowski won. He had the sweet Castrol Edge car, I remember.
Yeah.
We get the throwbacks, and it's so amazing, man. And I'm excited for when I go there to see all of them. And we were going through it before the show, but Kyle Larson throwing it back to the Kellogg's, Frosted Flakes. But obviously Kellogg's ain't a sponsor anymore. But you have the Hendrick.
Come back to NASCAR.
Yes, come back to NASCAR.
Our driver's diverse. Come back.
I think, Drew, I'm gonna look this up here for the past winners, but I think I'm gonna go with Tyler Reddick, man.
Tyler Reddick.
I remember last year he was fighting, I forget with who. Maybe it was Chase Elliott.
No, Busher. Remember?
Busher.
Yes, that 1 year anniversary.
Dude, that was the sticker thing. Wait, but yeah, you're right, because Keselowski ended up winning, but they were, racing for second, and they were very close to right behind Keselowski.
No. Swap that. Keselowski was in third. Those two were racing for first.
Oh, that's why he won the race. Yes, dude. So I think, man, now that makes me want to pick Busher, but I'm going to stick with Tyler Reddick.
I'm going with Busher.
Oh, he's gonna Busher. Yeah, Busher
Dude,
finally gets the sticker.
dude, Busher's going to he's gonna right rear Reddick right into the wall, and then get that win. And
Dude,
then on the
can you
cooldown lap, he's
imagine
gonna drive by and flip him off. And
if
be like, I
Busher
got my
wins?
sticker.
He's like, "Give me the sticker in NASCAR, you mother!"
Give me the
But
biggest sticker you got.
I can already imagine this. If Busher wins, we're gonna have to name the episode "Busher Gets His Sticker at Darlington." Drew, man, it'll be nice because this race is a little shorter, so when I go to it, it won't be so long. I mean, the Southern 500, it's great, and I'm donning the shirt, the Southern 500 from when I went last year. It's very long, dude. 367. I mean, quite literally, it was kind of brutal, and maybe it's just because I'm getting older, but it's just too late.
Aren't you
So
like 30? Wait, you're 27?
yeah,
Wait, we're the same age?
yes, Drew. You didn't know this?
Why do I feel like you're fucking with me right now?
I'm not, man. I wouldn't.
What's your
I wouldn't.
birthday? And your social security number and your mom's maiden name.
Okay, you went too far. My birthday is June 26th, 1997.
So you're almost 20. Okay.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way you're a 98 baby.
Oh, okay.
No fucking way.
But yeah, dude, like, because this race is going to start at 3 or 3:30, I believe. So it'll be much better, dude, and it'll probably end at like 5 or so. So there's to be light out, and plus the race is 2 hours from me, so I got to drive. I don't have to do much night driving then.
Well, just make your pregnant wife drive you. Get day drunk, and then let her just drive you.
Well, I'm going to be honest, dude. If I start drinking at that track, dude, I'm going to fall asleep, bro. I cannot drink like I used to, man. I don't even really drink that much anymore.
Well, that's why, right there, your tolerance is down. You left Wisconsin, and you lost your bonus to alcohol.
Look at it that way, Drew. You could look at it that way, and I'm not going to say you're wrong.
I miss beer every night.
But this is the track where I remember my first NASCAR race, right? And I'm like, there was like 3 or 4 laps in, and I'm like, it's when you're at a NASCAR, it's quite literally very hard to keep track of things. Because it's like, you choose, when you're there, it's just like, you just choose whoever you're going to watch. And they're like, well, I'm just looking around, I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, all right, let me see how Blaney's doing. As soon as get through turn 1, out of turn 1, crashes. And I'm like, well, so much for freaking wanting to watch him.
I forgot about that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, dude.
That sucks.
So I'm hoping this time when I go, like, I can maybe see him. If I saw him win in person, I don't know what I'm going to do, man. Or if I see, like, any of the guys that we talk about, like, if I see them win.
I think you're going to go to a glory hole in a bathroom stall and fill that hole up.
I might get one of them. I might stick my dick in a hamburger wrap that they have there.
I thought it was going to be like his car exhaust.
Well, I might do that too.
You sneak into like the garage area and just start fucking the car. It's been an awful episode. God damn it, I'm derailing it a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got nothing else, man. I really, truly cannot tell you how excited I am for Darlington. It's one of the best tracks, man. It is just incredible. And Throwback Weekend, that's got to be the best. Actually, matter of fact, I'm looking at this right now, man. Yeah, baby, the Ross just saying Throwback. Yes.
That was an amazing throwback,
check that out, man. So I wonder if I can find some of these at I need to find some stuff. I'm gonna have to get you something when I go.
Oh man, you gotta add it with the Chase Elliott car you gave me last year.
But yeah, dude.
But anyways, yeah, no, that's all I got too.
Yeah, that's all I got, guys. Again, remember to follow us on X at NASHolespod, on Instagram at NASHoles_podcast. Follow us on Spotify. Give us a 5-star review. Leave your comments. Let us know what you think. Who you guys think is going to win Darlington? And, let us know what you think of Darlington when it happens. Like, comment on anything on X. Just give us your thoughts. And make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Just, again, look up NASHoles, a NASCAR podcast. You'll find us. And, yeah, until next time, after Darlington, see you later.
All right.